It all started at America's Home for Racing, traveled throughout Pennsylvania, and rolled throughout the Big E. But one of the closest title fights in Rebels and Renegades history heads to the sprint car capital of the world. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now? In the Rebels, it's as close as you can get to become the B Division king. How close? Deadlocked. Jeff Kemper moved down from Renegades this season. He's looking for his first coast-to-coast title since the summer of 22. Cody Graham looking to show he's not just an asphalt driver either. He's looking to become a dirt king. In the Renegades, Patrick Spangler is a four-time and defending champion, but has he met his match? 4 points behind Blake Chapman is a two-time Renegades winner. But a change in the game has put him back in the hunt. Can he end the dominance of the high side banger? All roads lead to Knoxville. It all comes down to this. The summer of 23 comes to a close with championship night at the Knoxville Raceway for Monday Night Madness presented by Osh Weekend Speedway. GT3s later tonight at Long Beach, but the attention turns to the sprint cars. With drops, Patrick Spangler, 5 points, not 4 points, 5 points on Blake Chapman, the two best drivers all year in Renegades competition. But we begin with Rebels action. Jeff Kemper, Cody Graham tied in points, looking for Rebel title number 1. Someone is standing in victory lane later tonight and will be a part of Monday Night Madness glory forever. Well, we've got a good one, and we're so glad you could join us here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Marty Sakala alongside Zach Chapman and Brandon Dittmer. Dean Reynolds should be joining us in just a moment. Boys, we have made it again to the season finale. This one's probably tighter than we've ever seen it in seasons past, Zach.
Yeah, I mean, we've had close racing all year long, and I mean, what better track to save for your championship? You know, we had amazing racing during the Knoxville Nationals charity event we had, and I can't imagine a better stage for this championship tonight.
Let's talk about it, Brandon. On the Rebel side of things, you may be the first one with wins, the highest in point with wins on the season. However, though, our top two that are battling for the championship this year in Rebels, or this season, I should say, Jeff Kemper, Cody Graham, they do not have a win yet, so they're due up.
They are due up, and Kemper's going to have a long ways to go. He does have a heat EOL tonight, so he is going to have a long, long haul to get back up there. But he has what it takes to do it, and that is, let me find out where he's scheduled to start. He's scheduled to start in the back of his heat anyway, so it's a kind of a blessing in disguise to have that heat EOL, but he's still going to have a long ways to go.
Well, before we get to our first heat race of the evening, let's talk about the championship scenario. Obviously, more points win the title, but also you have to look at the race everyone could possibly drop. As long as Cody Graham is in the top 10, just about his worst finish so far is 11th. That has not been dropped yet. Kemper's worst finish has been 15th. That's not been dropped yet. They finish higher than that, then it will lead to whoever finishes with more points wins the title. That, of course, that is pending the incidents. Unless there is a bonus as well of hard charger, so make sure you keep that in mind. And if both those drivers finish in their worst finishes and they will have to drop Knoxville, then in this case, the situation I would assume would be the championship would go to Cody Graham, 610 to 591. Well, we're set to go for heat racing here at the Knoxville Raceway. Let's get to heat 1, brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies. Here's how they line up here. G.J. Boydell, Dean Reynolds make up the front row. Greg Parmerly and the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer on row number 2, so the Wheelie Masters on the outside front 2 rows. Kevin Fry and Lance Ripka make up row number 3. Daniel Vaught and Joe Backus make up the final row. Well, Zach, 11 weeks of prep, and it all comes down to the wire here tonight. But we can set some starting lineups first. We can figure out who's on the pole first. The drivers here in Heat 1, they don't have a lot to lose, really.
No, and I'll tell you what, Dittmer, you know, he's in the top 5 in points. He wants to advance up to the Renegades next season, but I think he might get win number 2 tonight.
Well, we're going to see what happens here as the winner starts on pole position. Let's go racing in Knoxville. Boydell gets out to the jump, but Reynolds gets the drive off at turn 2. Dittmer follows in his tracks as Dino takes the lead in car number 79. Dittmer follows him longer way around the racetrack to move to the second spot. Boydell down to third, Fry fourth. They nearly touch for fifth. Parmalee and Ripka at the line. It was Parmalee with the 5th position. The top 4 have started to pull away here. Kevin Fry in the back of G.J. Boydell. They both save it, Zach. Some good hard racing early.
Yeah, it's good to see them both save it. I see, the 21 hopping in and out a little bit, so I'm wondering if maybe connection issues had a little bit to do with that contact, but here's throwing in the slider.
Wow, a neck coat slider, risky slider for the Flying Fry. Boydell, though, counters it back to move back up into the 3rd position. But Dean Reynolds and Brandon Dittmer having a fun race for the lead. They have the top 2 fastest laps of the night so far. We'll see how it goes down for both of them. As Fry continues to blink, Boydell 4th, Parmalee 5th, Backus and Ripka. They race for the 6th spot. Daniel Vaught rounds out the field at 8th as we're halfway home. Reynolds still leads. Now, what does Dittmer have to do to try and close in or try and make a move on Dino for this lead?
Well, I think, the track's pretty fast right now, pretty one lane, so Brandon's just doing what he can. He knows he's not going to get that lead without doing something real aggressive. And him and Dean are buddies, and only 2 heats tonight, so, I mean, first, third, not a super big difference, and he's got plenty of time to go get it in the feature.
2 laps to go in Heat 1 for the man they call Dino, who will be racing Thursday night as well. The Roger Horvath throwback on Thursday Night Thunder. That's right, special edition of modified action coming at you later this week. We'll talk about that in just a bit. But white flag is out for the driver of the Full Throttle Motorsports World of Outlaws number 79 Rye, looking to start on pole position. And through 3 and 4, that's what he'll do. Dino sees the checkered flag. He starts on pole tonight. Dittmer 2nd, Fry 3rd, Boydell 4th, Ripka 5th, Parmalee 6th, Vaught 7th, and Joe Backus 8th.
Yeah, Dino's going to be real happy with himself because he didn't get the best jump there to start the race, but boy, he made up for it with that great turn 1 and 2.
Good start here to the evening. Let's move to heat race number 2. That's brought to you by our good friends at Langdon Mechanical. Here's how they line up. On the pole position, it is John Krupa in car number 5. Next to him, championship contender Cody Graham starting from 2nd. Row number 2, Brad Waite. He is in the 814 this evening. He starts next to Joe Musso. The Moose is in the 63. Row 3, Steve Maurer in the 888 next to the Mayor. Steve Bixler in the 75. A pair of salty dogs in row number 3. Rounding out the field, Gary Offutt in car number 94. And Jeff Kemper in the 181. So, Brandon, as we get set to go here, you were just talking about it earlier, how Kemper has to start from the back. Cody really needs to take advantage of this.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's got a great, was that front row for Cody? That's about as good as you can be, especially on the outside this early.
Yeah, and his teammates right below him, so that's going to help a whole lot.
It is going to help a whole lot. But no, this should be a fun little heat race. See if Kemper can really work his way through this field, or does he lay back and maybe get those hard charger points for the feature?
That's a good point. We could see if he's feeling really confident about the setup he has in his Gambler Motorsports ride, he could possibly use that to his advantage. Let us know who you're rooting for in the chat for those that are watching. Hello to Joe Canellis and Tyler Wilson, as well as F for tuning on in.
Oh, and I did hear you mention something about Fry blinking. He is using his mobile hotspot for the night since his internet is down.
Ah, okay. Man, that's a worrier by Kevin Fry.
Yeah,
to use a hotspot. Anyway, we get set to go for heat race number 2. Winner starts next to Dean Reynolds on the front row. And it's Krupa and Graham that bring us to green for heat race number 2. Let's get at it. Graham gets away with the jump, and then Musso to 2nd. Krupa with a bad jump. Kemper hanging out in the back, meanwhile, still in that 8th position. Bixler up on that cushion for the 3rd spot at the stripe. Let's see if he can get it. Just barely, no, but it's Cody Graham that is out in front. And Kemper is hanging back there. He is still stuck Zach, behind the 888 of Steve Maurer.
Yeah, kind of like I assumed there, and as Krupa probably should have done. He didn't get on the restart that hard there. He made sure his teammate cleared him, and Jeff having that EOL longest line on the bottom line, that really hurt him. He didn't cross the line for a long time.
But it's Cody Graham out in front. However, though, Kemper would love to see Joe Musso make a pass for the lead. Brandon, last time by, quickest lap of the race at a 15:82.
Yeah, as much as he would love to see it, but that you're not going to get around anybody if that leader's running the top side right now, unless he makes a massive mistake, unless you throw a slider, a really hard slider, and kind of almost go across his nose. But I expect Cody to keep the lead here.
Still checking on Kemper. I think he may be planning on going for the hard charger of the night here, Zach.
Yeah, I'd love to say that's planned, but as much as like to lie to you, I think the track's one lane right now. He's having a lot of trouble passing, using our Knoxville National setup, and this track isn't near as tore up as our Knoxville Nationals event was.
Musso, quickest driver on the track last time by, 15:82 once again. This time it's Cody Graham at a 15:79 with 2 to go in Heat 2, Brandon.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Well, we're coming to the white flag. It's still Graham and Musso. Now, what does Joe have to do to try and get this win?
Joe's just got to hope Cody maybe gets into the wall here coming down the backstretch and maybe gets a slider attempt. Does he go for it?
He's going to go for it.
Go.
Musso looks shorter way around. Is it going to work for him? Coming to the checkers, Cody Graham takes the win.
Just caught that that invisible slick in the middle of 3 and 4.
And Jeff Kemper finishes in the 8th spot. And he will start from the back of the field for tonight's 30-lap feature. We're going to take our first break of the evening. When we come back, we're about to crown our Rebels champion. Stay with us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
I'll be right.
How about the reverse for Lucy Olsen? She has her first point.
Yeah, Lucy Olsen, talented sophomore.
We are back here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Warm-ups are in the books. Kevin Fry is the quickest. Well, we are just about ready to go and crown a champion for the summer of 23. Ladies and gentlemen, here is your catalytic recovery starting lineup. On the pole, Dean Reynolds in the number 790 next to him. It's championship contender Cody Graham in car number 2. Row number 2, Brandon Dittmer in the 83. Next to the Moose, Joe Musso in the 63. Row 3, the Flying Fry, Kevin Fry in the 21. Next to the Mayor, Steve Bixler in car number 75. Row 4, it's G.J. Boydell in the 014 next to John Krupa in car number 5. Rounding out the top 10 this evening, the Ripper, Lance Ripka. He is in car number 125, and Gary Offut is next to him. He is in the number 94. Row number 6, it is Greg Parmalee in the number 4, and Brett Bradway in the 814. Row 7, Daniel Vaught in the number 180, and Steve Maurer in the 888. Row number 8, Joe Backus in the number 46, and Jeff Kemper, the 181, the second championship contender, rounds out the field. Dean, Brandon, wishing you guys the best of luck.
Thank you.
Well, we are set to go racing. Zach, who's your pick to win, and who's your pick for the championship?
Well, you know, as much as I'd love to pick my teammate for the championship, it is a tough battle to climb when the guy you're fighting starting second. So I got to go with the obvious pick there. Cody, he's been pretty consistent all year. Got to go with him for the championship. But I'm going to stick with my pick there. I think Dittmer, he's going to be fast here as we go on. I think the Spider Monkey's going to get win number 2.
Looking for his win in at his home track at Knoxville, where he attended his 8th Knoxville Nationals earlier this year. But set to go racing, set to go at it for the Lucy Olson start. Cody Graham, Jeff Kemper with the drops, tied for the championship. Highest finner, if they're in the top 10, wins the title. Dean Reynolds, Cody Graham, set to bring us to green. We're ready to go here with the Lucy Olson start at the sprint car capital of the world.
Contact in the middle of the field. Boydell.
Oh, Gary Offut's flipping already, and we go to yellow. G.J. Boydell is also involved, and I believe Jeff Kemper made it through just barely.
Yeah, no incidents. That's the first thing I checked. No incidents for Kemper.
Alrighty, let's take a look at a replay here. First replay of the night brought to you by Malcolm's Mills Mill Writing. Show you what happened. Boydell, I think he just got a little bit sideways and got into Gary Offut into the inside. Oh my goodness! Heavy crash. They hit that inside barrel. Oh, that just takes your breath away. Watch
the fastest
Gary
tracks
here.
we go to, when they wreck here.
That is a wild flip. Let's ride on board with the driver of the 94. Yeah, it was like one of those, one came up, the other came down, but 94 is just on for the ride in that deal. Are we 1 to green yet or no?
No, not yet. Coming out of turn 4, getting ready to get it.
All right, let's show you the onboard with GJ. Yeah, it was just 2 guys fighting for the same piece of real estate. The left front wheel got knocked off the 014. So that will update, by the way, once we come back to green, a single file restart, as we did not complete the opening circuit here, which means the starting lineup remains the same with the exception of the 2 drivers involved in the accident. So that does help Jeff Kemper move up 2 spots to the 14th position, and that's what he's going for, those bonus points to try and pull the stunner on the 2 of Cody Graham. Does he have it today? We'll find out. Winner takes their first Rebels Championship. Graham looking for his first title ever. As for Kemper, looking for his first. since
What a
the
jump
summer
for Dino.
22. But yeah, a great restart from the 79 of Dean Reynolds as the field goes down the back chute. First side-by-side races for fourth, Joe Musso and Kevin Fry. And the Flying Fry, remember, has to be careful using that hot spot connection, so can't play any risky moves here on the day-to-day. Brandon Dittmer just about bikes the cushion, nearly 3 wide for the third spot for 2. Dittmer really loosey-goosey down the back. I think he tried to put too much throttle input into it.
Yeah, just overdriving a little bit, but it's easy to do that. Just got to settle down, get a couple laps in, he'll be just fine.
63 on Musso, currently the quickest driver on the racetrack in a 16:33, but we had a change for the lead, by the way. Cody Graham goes to the point in car number 2, which is huge for him here, Zach.
Yeah, it seemed like Dino tightened up a little bit there in the middle of 3 and 4, and he just got up too close to the wall, had to crack the throttle a bit, and Cody just took advantage of it. Now Mossow's looking below him here.
Here's a quick look for the lead. That change for the lead. You saw as well, Dean scraped the wall, but no harm, no foul. So that puts the 2 out in front. Musso looks for second, same with Kevin Fry. Quickest car on the track, though, is the Oswego Lakers number 5 of John Krupa. Oh, Dimmer's up on the wall. Hangs on to it. The close call for him as Mixler looks to close in for the final spot in the top 5. Your race for second, though.
Dean got put in the wall, I believe.
Dittmer wants that 4th spot away. Krupa tries to throw a slider, meanwhile, on the 75, and it pays off here. Musso and Fry still going to work for that 2nd spot as we've completed 7 laps here, Zach.
Yeah, it was a close battle there. Moussa's, he was going into turn 1. He tried to cut low, and he caught Dean's bumper there and put him in the wall. That's why Dean's back to 4th place here. We'll have to see if he can gather that up and come on back.
On board the 63 of Musso. Foot to the throttle right next to the wall. Update on Jeff Kemper in the 181, currently in at the 11th spot. He is, though, your hard charger at the moment, currently up 5 spots. So what he's going for, he's looking at it right now. That's what he wants, those bonus points. But right now, this is Cody Graham's championship. Oh, look out, Bauer! Oh, man, hard in the wall. And here we go, another Bauer barrel roll at the sprint car capital of the world. But no caution, we stay under the green flag. Is he going to get this back going, or is he going to force the yellow? He forces the yellow.
Yeah, and you know, that's a case you're going to have some people get mad about that, and I'm in the camp. He just did about 6 flips down the backstretch. In what world would a caution not have come out? I'd do that exact same thing and try to get my car repaired.
Just pinched back is, and the 888 is the one that pays the worst price out of this.
Kemper needed that, though, because I was just about to say the track's strung out. Doesn't look like we have any chances for cautions, and then that happened. Kemper really needed that.
Absolutely. You saw Backus there laying the go and clipped that inside wall, which messed up his right rear. This is with Mauer once again. Ah, a dizzying amount of sidewinders. So he uses his quick repair in the work zone. But the yellow, though, you are correct. The yellow that Kemper needed to bunch the field back up. He's in 11th, looking to get into that top 10.
Yeah, if that caution, I mean, the championship was going away from him every lap there. That breathed some life back into him. We'll have to see how he'll drive it hard. And, you know, Kevin, he's the wild card there, that spotty connection, and God bless him. You know, he runs hard in every event he's in. He's always wants to win, so that's a wild card right now.
Well, lights go off the Steve King Foundation pace truck, and we are set to go green. Our first double file restart of the night. We will watch this from our Chapman Racing drone. Oh, wait a second. Where's Cody? Okay. Had us all nervous there for just a moment. So it's Graham and Musso, row 1. Fry and Reynolds, row 2. Dittmer, Krupa, row 3. Bixler, Ripka, row 4. Waite and Palmer Lee round out the top 10. And Cody Graham selects the inside for our Mission 22 restart here at Knoxville. Musso on the outside. Kevin Fry still challenges him for that second position. See if Fry decides to throw a slide job, decides not to. And Musso hangs on, has that second position at the moment. Kemper, by the way, has broken in the top 10 at the moment. You see on the left side of your screen, but it's a 5-car race for the lead. Down the back here, this is a fun race to watch here at the moment, Zach.
Yeah, it is. You know, I'm kind of surprised that we've got so many under a blanket. Normally, you know, they spread out a little bit, but I guess as the track wears, here comes Brandon. You know, the car's coming right back into Brandon, and there's Dean. I mean, we're going to have a hell of a race for us.
Remember how good Brandon was last week at Fallujah. He was able to get the high side down and late in the going, and it paid off. This time he get the low line work. Oh, he's on the wall once again, because everyone has been using the high line. That's been completely dominant here at the Knoxville Raceway all night long. Back up front, Musso all over that tail tank of the 2 of Cody Graham for that race lead.
Yeah,
Better
you know, they're
turn two.
teammates, though, so you got to wonder how hard or how bad Massau wants this win. You know, does he want to risk the championship for Cody, or is he content with staying in second here?
I think he wants to let Cody Graham have the walk-off. Meanwhile, John Krupa crosses over on Brandon Dittmer for the 5th spot. The Laker takes it away. Meanwhile, Kemper still in that top spot. Ripka sideways, made contact with the 83, but the Ripper saves it. Here comes Wade. Low on the Mayor. Throws the slide job. Yes, Bixler counters it back here. And Bixler throws it in deep once again. Takes the 8th position back. Back up front though. 0.2 of a second is the gap between Graham and Musso. Remember, this was the same situation we saw in, I believe it was heat race number 2 tonight here, Zach. They were both 1 and 2, and Musso could not make a move on the 2 car.
Oh, we're getting a caution.
Oh! Caution flag is out for Brandon Dittmer. And that helps the 181 move up into the 9th spot.
I guess I cursed him. You can blame me, Brandon.
Here's a look. Ooh, Krupa put him up on the wall, and Krupa says, hey, I've got the better wheelie than you. Oh, man, Parma Lee just barely dodges a bullet. Right on board here with Dittmer. There it was. Just the wheel-to-wheel contact. You see the left front dangling.
Yeah, Brandon, I think, sadly, I think his night might be shot there. He was trying to get in the pits there, but with that broken front end, I don't think he could get in pit road.
You saw as well, Kemper just barely miss it. Puts him up another spot. Believe both have 0 incidents at the moment. Zach?
Yeah.
Okay. So this means as things were to stand, both would pick up the 5 bonus points, and currently Kemper would get the 5 bonus points. However, though Cody Graham would claim the championship. So it's a 10-lap shootout as we come back to the green, and it will be our final double file restart of the night.
All right, Dino, be on your toes, buddy.
What are you thinking
Leader
here?
chose the high side.
What are you thinking here, though, if you're the 181?
I mean, you know, Jeff, he's one of the nicest guys in the league. I don't know anybody who's really ever had a run-in with him. But if he wants a championship, it's time to take off the nice business suit and get dirty and be aggressive here.
Last 2 drivers you just saw there are your front row for this restart. Cody Graham and Joe Moose are the teammates as we come back to the Mission 22 restart zone. Kevin Fry is caught sleeping. That helps out Kemper pick up another spot there on the restart. Dino looking for the very narrow lane. Up to 3rd, up to 2nd. Musso goes around. He's backwards. We go back to caution. And not the yellow that Kemper wanted. He'll go back a couple of spots. But man, both Dean and Jeff had hell of a restart.
Yeah, Dino, he must have heard me yelling at him. He turned it on. I'll tell you what, as much as I guess he's going to be happy to be in second, he didn't want that caution because that run he had, we may have seen a slider for the lead going into
Possibly a lot of momentum was built. Look at the lane, barely. And there you see it off the front nose, and there you see Bixler just barely making some contact. Let's ride on board here with the Moose. I do want to ride on board as well with the 181 of Jeff Kemper because he was in a close situation. Right there, nearly got involved in some extracurricular activity, which could have cost him 5 bonus points.
Yeah, he's luckily still at the 0 incidents. Him and Cody both. So
now because the inside line 2 here, Zach, did not get going, this does help out Dean. Officially does take away the second position, and Kemper is now up to 6th.
Yeah, and you know, Cody, man, he's been fast all night. Don't get me wrong, but I think it was pretty clear that Masao was being nice there in second place, and he doesn't have his teammate behind him anymore. So, you know, it's time to pull the belts tight, and he's got to go earn it now because if Dean hooks that thing up on the outside again, he's coming for a win here.
Saw a Graham Racing car from Canada last night at the Erie Speedway win a non-qualifier race. Can this car possibly take the first championship? We are going to find out here. A 9-lap shootout. Determine who wins this one. Graham leading, Kemper 6th. Here we go. Oh, Kemper gets in the back of Bixler. I think that's 2x for him.
Yes, it is.
So that's not going to give him 5 bonus points for having 2x because of the stack up on the restart, which is going to be a huge benefactor for the driver of the number 2. That instant contact, if should Kemper make his way up to the field, that could pay huge dividends here. Race for second, though, is on. Kevin Fry low on Dean Reynolds.
Yeah, Kevin Fry, you know, he wants to go while he can, but I think his best bet would be to let Dean get wound up here for a lap or two because Dean's going to be coming on the high side. You guys want to go up there and race the leader, not race each other.
7 laps to go, a 3-car race for the lead. Graham, Fry, and Reynolds. Dino looking for something off in turn number 2, but he just can't find it. He's searching for options, though. Meanwhile, Fry wants to lead off Cody Graham there. Hoosier to Hoosier off turn 4.
Yeah, like I say, Kevin Fry, every event he's in, he wants to win. So Cody's got to race smart here, and yeah, I think he did there. I think it looked like he cracked off the throttle, and he's points racing here.
He's going to let Kevin Fry have it. Off of turn number 4, the guy with the hot spot leading with 5 laps to go. A guy using internet, a hot spot is its internet. It's like seeing Matt Shepard put diesel in his truck over gasoline. Oh wait, I'm sorry, it was the other way when that happened. 4 laps to go. Kemper now has made his way up to the 5th spot. We still watch the race for second. Graham against Reynolds. Remember, Cody points racing here on out. He doesn't want to take any huge risks that could cost him the title. Throws the slider line on Dean Reynolds. Dino wants the 2nd spot. 3 laps to go. Graham lets Reynolds have the 2nd spot. Big run off in turn 2. And here comes Lance Ripka recovering from spinning Joe Musso. 2 laps to go, meanwhile, here at the Knoxville Raceway, Zach.
Yeah, we're at the point right now where I think Jeff's probably not thinking about it, but if he doesn't get that incident point there, you know, we might have a new points leader if Ripka gets past Cody.
Here we come to the white flag. 1 lap to go. Final lap is officially underway. The driver in car number 21, the CarQuest ride, Twisted Tech Machine, the Flying Fry through 3 and 4, had internet issues earlier tonight, found a way to get on iRacing. Kevin Fry takes the win at Knoxville, and off at turn number 4, Cody Graham finishes, I think, in the 3rd position, which should be, he finishes 4th.
4th.
And that should be enough, though, for Cody Graham I believe, to win the Rebels Championship. We'll wait to see.
If they were tied coming into it, the only reason he won that championship is because of Jeff's incident points, because Jeff would have gotten 5 bonus points for the hard charger tonight.
Now, our scoring says third on the iRacing Live timing. Here are what the official results have to say. Graham lost it out by 0.05 of a second to Ripka. But Graham, though, I think he's checking his...
Jeff, but Marty might pull up whoever won.
So Kevin, Dean, and
That's
Lance
correct.
pulling up here.
He definitely won it.
And we're waiting for everything to update here.
I think Cody won.
Yeah, we believe Cody won it too.
Should we get there? Thank you, guys. Thank you.
But like I said, we will wait until scoring has it updated. But let's pull up the results here once again. Kevin Fry, the winner. Dean Reynolds, second. Lance Ripka, third. Cody Graham, fourth. Jeff Kemper, fifth. Steve Bixler, sixth. John Krupa, seventh. Greg Parmalee, eighth. Brad Waite, ninth. Joe Musso rounds out the top 10. Rest of the results here. 11th, Daniel Vaught. 12th, G.J. Boydell. 13th, Brandon Dittmer. 14th, Joe Backus. 15th, Steve Maurer. And 16th, Gary Offutt. Patrick Spangler is updating everything for us. And ladies and gentlemen, your champion, Cody Graham, takes it home. So we will talk with Cody in just a matter of moments. We will get, though, to the top 3 first. Starting things off here with the driver of the 125 in Lance Ripka. Lance, a nice run for you tonight from 9th to 3rd. Walk us through it.
Try to keep it clean, avoid the wrecks, and, you know, keep the car straight and fast. That's about all.
You almost had a close call there with with Joe Musso. When he came down, when you two touched it, were you a little bit nervous that you thought you were going to be involved in that wreck and have to go to the back?
I was more afraid that I was the cause of it. I was just trying to hold the line, and the car came across the nose, and I was just kind of hoping that it wasn't me that caused it.
Gotcha. Well, it was a great run for you. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
I'll give the boys at Spartan Racing a shout. VMR Rabs, Ripka Designs, Coast to Coast for the league, and you guys for putting on a show.
Alrighty, well, we'll let you go. Great run tonight, and great season for you. Welcome back.
Thanks, man.
So Lance Ripka is our 3rd place finisher. Let's go to the man that finished in 2nd, and that, of course, is Dean Reynolds. Dino, I almost thought on that penultimate restart before we had that caution flag come out, I almost thought that you were going to get the lead away from Kevin, or from Cody at the time.
Well, be all honest, when Cody slid me, I probably could have went underneath him, but you know what? He's leading the points. I just said, if I finish 2nd to Cody, I'll be okay with this. I actually just let him keep the lead, and then if he made a mistake, I'll take advantage of it. And I was content to stay there. And then when Joseph just tapped me a little bit on that front straightaway, holy cow, I had to hang on and that. But yeah, I think Cody's tires are going at the end. I think he used them up a little too early, and as you can see there, he got really, really, well, I don't know if I could say assy, but I'll say it anyways, there at the end, and that's how I got him. So, but what a great race. I had a lot of fun.
Absolutely. I guess I'll also have you talk about this briefly, too. I know it's outside the race, but fun event you've been promoting with Coast to Coast this week. We're looking forward to on Thursday night.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Roger for letting me run with this, and it's really cool. We're going to do a little throwback in current car Thursday night. So, you know, I think we're up to 25 or 26 different paint schemes of throwback cars and current cars, and we've been showcasing them on the lounge. And Marty, we're going to be honored to have you join us with Brett Wheeler, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I just wanted to bring down the season with something a little bit different, and it's getting well received, and maybe we'll just do this every season.
Absolutely. Who do you want to give shout-outs to on the car for this run?
Gotta say thanks to my team for Full Throttle Motorsports. Always gotta say thanks to them, even though they're not sprint car guys. They helped me get a little better. I gotta say a big thank you to Patrick Spangler. We got fourth in the matinee, second here. Patrick gave me a couple tips they told me to use, and they really come in good. And I got a little speed here in Knoxville thanks to Patrick, so I got to thank him. Marty, got to thank you and booth posse here, and Zach and Brett and all of them. This is a lot of fun. I actually, when we get done, I actually turn around and watch this broadcast, even though I was on it. I got to thank Roger Coast to Coast, and you know what? I'm freaking psyched. I'm going Renegade racing.
Oh, baby, here we go. All righty, Dean, we'll talk to you in just a moment, all right?
Thank you, man.
All right, let's go to your winner here tonight, and that, of course, is the Flying Fry, Kevin Fry. First off, let's just make sure. Let's just make sure because we know he's going through issues. Kevin Fry, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
Hey, Kevin, just don't suck on this interview, will you?
I'll try not to. I'll try not to.
What a fun race, though, tonight between you,
Oh, man,
Cody,
that was a blast.
Dean. Yeah, walk us through it.
Yeah, that was a blast. Dean and Cody and all them guys up front, man, they're just top-notch guys, man. They race hard, race clean every week in and week out, and every once in a while I go in there and screw it up every once in a while. I mean, I do suck every once in a while, but since I was blinking so bad, I was told in the practice that I was just going to stay out of the bottom and, bide my time, and if it worked out, I was moving forward, then I was moving forward. If not, then, oh well, it's just, crap happens. So I was just like, I'll just stay on the bottom and stay out of everybody's way because I figured everybody would be up top or above the cushion or above the slick. So I just took it by my time and just stayed on the bottom, and it worked out great for me.
At what point did you feel like you had a chance to win this race?
When I had a guy message me, tell me go get him, and that kind of told me that I was, faster or fast enough to keep these guys in check, and hopefully that they'd screwed up or missed a mark or whatever. So I appreciate that guy messaging me and letting me know that, hey, I got a chance at it. So appreciate that.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to on this season?
I want to give a shout out to my team, Dirty Sim South Sports. Appreciate those guys for all the help in the lines and setup help that they give it week in and week out. Appreciate Marzoff Inc., Twisted Tech. Appreciate you guys putting us on the interweb, making us look good week in and week out, and DDR.
Alrighty, well, we'll let you go.
Good job, brother.
Congratulations on the win, Kevin.
Thank you, Dean. Appreciate you guys. Thank you all.
And let's go to your champion on the season, the driver of the number 2, Cody Graham. Cody, I want to give you a fun fact here. A couple of fun facts, actually. First off,
Sorry about that.
your first ever championship with us in Coast to Coast, outside the overall championship you once got. But second of all, if Jeff did not hit the back of Steve Bixler on the restart, he would have had a clean race like you did, and the gap would have been 1 point. So, but Cody, first off, how does this feel?
Good. It's not what I expected, especially because I know B class and A class, especially on Monday nights, that's like the premier series for this league. And earlier this season, I dropped racing all the other dirt stuff so I could focus on all the asphalt stuff for this season. But I wanted to keep doing the B class just because, like I said, it's a premier one. And yeah, win the title in the first season in it. Super great. I would have liked to have got a win. Really like to kind of back up into a championship like that by not really earning it, so to speak, without getting a W. But it pays to be consistent, and I'll always be around 5th fastest, never the fastest, and that's good enough for a title sometimes.
Well, you came on into the night. You started on the front row. Kemper started from the rear. I think he was trying to go for the points pain strategy or the hard charger strategy. When you got on the front row, did you feel like you really had a good chance, knowing that coming in with drops that it was tied?
I mean, I knew the car, just in general, was really quick, and I knew, especially how the points are laid out, that I had a feeling, because he usually isn't that slow in a heat race, so I had a feeling he was probably going to try and go for the bonus hard charger points. So it was mainly just about keeping it clean. Keeping that 0x, and like I said, I wish I would have won. Like if I was in second and I wasn't leading, I probably would have ripped the top at the end there because I knew it was a lot faster and I would have been a lot faster. But I just didn't want to end up catching a wheel in the fence and going for a ride or something. So I just dropped it down low and just kind of rode out those last 5 to 10, especially too, because the car was really good for the first 20. And then that last restart, the last 10, it started snapping sideways on me for no reason. So I just decided to play it safe and back her down on the inside.
Hey, thanks for shooting my ego, Cody. I thought I passed you because I was faster. Thanks.
I mean, you were faster. I was just, in a different way.
Absolutely.
As a whole, though, here, Cody, what do you take away out of this season?
This is some intense stuff, man. You always have to be on your A game, or else, it's not going to be a good night. Pill draws, it is what it is. Some nights you're going to be up front, some nights you're going to be in the back. It probably evens out over the course of 10 to 12 races during the season, but yeah, it's always tough. Like I said, if you're not on it from the drop of the green, you're going to find yourself back in 15th, and it's not going to be a fun night. So like I said, I'm better at asphalt than I am on dirt, especially more consistent and just speed wise. So I think I've got like 4 of the asphalt championships locked up if I just start the race this week. So having those is nice, but like I said, I kind of specialize in that for the most part. So getting the B class dirt, it means a lot, especially as I said, this league's like founded on that, and that's their main series. I would have liked to get a W, so that's a goal going forward. But yeah, I'm pleased with it.
Well, hey Cody, you don't have to show up Wednesday. You can maybe let me win one if you want to.
Yeah, well, I think if I just start the race, I can win it. So you can have to win by.
Yeah, just take the night off. That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, for the trail, I need bonus points for the trail. So I'll be there for that. But
Cody, anyway, who do you want to give shout-outs to?
You, as always, for not just a good broadcast, but being a great announcer. It's always entertaining. It's never a dull time. Roger and everyone for the league. And then my GKM teammate, Joe. Joe was in the fight. He was leading the points for a long time. And John, Jake, and Eddie, words of encouragement and keeping me grounded. Sometimes I go off the handle and I get a little tilted over some stuff. They bring me back down and just talking strategy and stuff during the race. So they're a huge part. I wouldn't have won it without those guys. And like I said, it was a good showing by Joe. Joe's not really a dirt racer either, but like I said, he was leading the points for a while and he was right there at the end. So just a good overall performance from us.
Alrighty, well, we'll let you go. Congratulations on a great championship.
Congrats, Cody.
Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Cody Graham, the champion. So we have figured out first one of our 3 champions this evening, but we've got another battle around the corner. 5 points separate Patrick Spangler and Blake Chapman. Find out next on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
For Lucy Olson, she has her first point.
Yeah, Lucy Olson, talented sophomore.
Welcome back to the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We are getting set to go for Renegades action here at the Knoxville Race. Renegades are brought to you by Dylan Westbrook Racing. Let's welcome you back to the broadcast booth here. Dean Reynolds now joining us, so we'll give him the first word here in this situation. So it is Blake Chapman against Patrick Spangler. This is going to be a fun one where I don't know who has the advantage here. Because obviously Blake Chapman won the Knoxville Nationals earlier this year, Dean. However, though, last season's race at Knoxville, before we went to the new tire degradation, Patrick Spangler took the win.
Well, they both were in the matinee today, and guess what? They finished 1 and 2. I think it's safe to say you got the best two going for the title right here. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good guys, a lot of good drivers in Coast to Coast, especially in Renegades. But for this season, under this new model, you got the best two guys going at it.
Absolutely. Patrick Spangler and Blake Chapman. Brandon, let's talk about the situation here between the two. 5 points separate them with the drops. And pretty much for Patrick Spangler, again, everything pending the incident points and stuff like that. Second or better for Patrick Spangler, and he wins it all.
Yeah, and absolutely. Patrick is also in the same boat as Kemper was. He has a Heat EOL today as well, so he has a lot more work ahead of him. But like you said, Chapman won the Knoxville Nationals, but I've been talking with Patrick, and he says he has found a setup that he absolutely loves for this track, so he is going to be right up there. He is going to be a threat.
Well, Zach, what do you think?
Man, I think we're set up for one hell of a show. I guess he stole all the driving talent in my family. Blake there. I guess my long lost. But it's hard not to bet on that kid. I mean, just he's got a great attitude. Yeah, I mean, one of the best guys we have in the league, and gonna be tough to beat him, especially like Brandon said there, Patrick, with that Heat EOL. I mean, it's one thing to get a Heat EOL in the B series, nothing against those guys, but Heat EOL in the A series, I mean, that's a big deal, dude. He's gonna have to claw tooth and nail for every position tonight.
23 drivers make up the car count this evening for Renegades action here at Knoxville. Let's get set to go with heat race number 1. Heat 1 brought to you by Racing Bodies. Here is the starting lineup. On the front row, it's Bob DeGood in car number 7. He's next to Kyle Sargent in the 91. Row number 2, last week's first-time winner, the Pink Panther of Jesse Exon. He's next to the Bass Man in Roger Craig. Row number 3, the captain, Gary Taylor in car 34. Next to the Desert Demon, the 161 of Terry Landis. And in row number 4, he had to go to the back. Hey, it's an EOL for him. The high side banger, Patrick Spangler in the 39. And the 07 of the Ayla Outlaw in Preston Cranmer.
Yeah, couldn't have went any better for him because he's, unlike Kemper, Kemper was an 8th, so he had to at least drop low line behind. Patrick gets to stay right where he's at, so no harm, no foul.
Yeah, if anything, it eases your mind knowing, well, I was going to have to start back here anyways. Let's go racing.
Exactly right.
Yep.
And look where Blake Chapman starts heat 3.
Yeah. Did you see the chat?
I don't want to know.
Had the horseshoe.
He's like Galen's popcorn's paying off people, I see.
don't want to know. I want to. Okay, I'm just going to guess. Is it first?
It is first.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be spoiled there. I wanted to wait for the folks to see, but there you go. That could be huge. Just like how we saw with Cody Graham and Jeff Kemper. So ready to go for our opening heat race. Do one extra pace lap with the Steve King Foundation pace truck before we go racing here. Hello to Gary Spangler watching. Good evening to him. Patrick actually said on Kevin Fry, Blinken Fry is the new name.
He was blinking pretty good. When he was underneath me, I kept on hearing the engine go.
We're going to have to clip that.
There you go.
That may have to be a soundbite. I may get a soundbite button box. I mean, I have one set for a bugle, but I may get a soundbite button box. Like the morning.
It reminded me
does.
of the Whammy game show sound. That's what that.
Oh, I love that game show. Press your luck in Whammy. That is
Yep.
fun. All right, let's focus on this as we've got a championship contender in this one. Ready for the green flag here at the Knoxville Raceway. DeGood and Sargent bring us down. We're on it. Sargent gets off to the jump. Good start for him. DeGood falls back in second. Roger Craig upstairs on him for the 2 spot. Take it away. Jesse Exon looks to go 3 wide, possibly 2 for 1. Off at turn number 4. Lap 1 led by Kyle Sargent. He has run away from the cops in this one at the moment, Dino.
Yeah, no, I just looked. The track state, it's at 1%, so it's got some bite. So everyone's going to be fast. Everyone's holding the foot down to the floor and going. So Patrick really just needs to hope for some mistakes.
Oh, he had to let off there because Gary Taylor just slammed the door right in his face. And Patrick says, okay, I'll go low here. But it's just not working out for him at the moment. 4 wide in turn 3. He took the risk. Is it going to pay off? Almost contact between Atkinson and Cranmer. This is tight here, Zach.
Yeah, man, I'm holding my breath. I almost had trouble answering you. I can't believe it. But Patrick's got to go for it. He does not want to get caught in the soup tonight.
He is sending it big time. He does not want to get caught up here in the back of the feature. And we have to make a charge to the front, but it's 3 wide now for the 3rd spot. Spangler had to let off. He is on the charge there. Close contact between Kramer and Craig and Zach. Excuse me, Brandon, I should say. Spangler's moved up to 3rd.
Spangler was just waiting for that opportunity, and then he finally got it with those 3 kind of coming together. Now he's going to look for Bobby Good to make a mistake.
Gary Taylor got loose in turn 2. He drops to the back of the field. Cranmer and Craig, the 2 admins of the series. Race for the 4th spot. White flag is out here, rather 2 laps to go. And Heat 1, here we go. Wait, where'd
Leader
Terry
coming up on lap traffic. You don't see this.
Terry must have missed the start. He came out late.
Here goes Spangler down low on Bob to go for the second spot. Spangler may use him as a pick possibly, but the good and Spangler close it at the white flag. 1 to go. 3-car battle to determine who starts on pole. Spangler looks around the padded outside line. 1 up on the wall. It's Gary Taylor. We stay green. The 2 nearly touch for the second spot. You know who's going to win it. Who's going to finish second? Give it to the good on Spangler. Woo!
Yeah, it's unfortunate a lap car got to get made a little bit of effect on that, but I guess you call that racing.
We had Jesse Atkinson and Gary Taylor crash coming to the checkered flag, I believe it was. And yes, that was the case. We'll get a brief look once we can move on to Heat 2 and get you a look at what happened between the Pink Panther and the captain. Taylor had yet to finish. He decided not to take the checkered flag. Luckily, though, everybody makes the feature. Have a car count this evening of 24 drivers. So here's a look at the final lap.
Still might be some smoke coming out of the helmet of that 39, though.
So Taylor catches the wall. Gary was still sideways, and him and Atkinson just make contact. Both spin. Taylor upside down, falls short coming to the check. Oh my gosh. Atkinson's pulling a Ricky Bobby coming to the checkers.
Good to see you, Mr. Hine.
Alrighty. Now we move to Heat 2 as the field rolls off. Heat 2 brought to you by Langdon Mechanical. Here's your starting lineup. On the pole this evening, it's the Macho Man, Tyler Wilson, the 42. Next, the Detective and Steven Spees. Row number 2, it's Jeff Kemper in the 181. Next to the Brute to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. Row 3, the return of the Professor, John Hine, the 71. He's next to Jeff Flero in the 200. Rounding out the field, Dean Reynolds in the 79 and Brandon Templeton in the 31. Alrighty, Dean, best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
Kevin, mean to do that?
Brandon, you can start on the outside of me. That's okay. I'm not going for point.
Dean, did Kevin mean to do that?
What's up?
Kevin just set the next track state for Heat 3 to 0%. Okay, now they fixed it. Okay.
Interesting stuff. Anyway, we're getting set to go here for Heat Race number 2. Winner starts the outside of row number 1. Zach, real quick, who's caught your eye?
The Macho Man. He's gonna be fast here, but I'm gonna pick Spees. He's been real fast at the end of races here, but been working on a setup a little bit, and I think he's got something under the hood.
Winner starts next to Kyle Sargent here in this one. Green flag is out for Heat 2. Wilson gets a good jump. Kemper tries to look low. Spees gets a better rocks at Barker. Oh, Dread High! Sideways in front of Dino. They keep him straight, though, but they fall to the back of this one. Race for 4th, meanwhile, on. Flero takes it away, but it's Tyler Wilson that leads lap 1. Barker won 2nd, but I think he caught the berm there, Zach.
Yeah, he's trying to go get it down low, but it's real tough to get it done down there, as we saw in the last heat. I think you want to be up top, but unless you have the big slider to throw, but he just didn't have the room for it.
That allows Flero to move up to the 3rd spot. Oh! Kemper puts Barker in the wall with the 2 are off the pace. Heavy right front damage though on the 513. Look at that. The right wheel loosey-goosey. And I think Dino just caught the wall too. And he runs to the back of him. Okay, that was interesting. Race for 2nd though. Brandon, Jeff Flero, Steven Spees. And the 200 has a hot rod.
And it's considering he's kind of got into the wall a couple times. The right front looks all right, and he's making that kind of low line kind of work right now.
3 laps going to Heat 2. Still all the Macho Man. 15:68, the quickest lap of the day here. It's Flero, Spees, Templeton, Kemper. That is your top 5. Jeff Barker has pulled it in. He's done. Same with John Hine. So 6 drivers remain on track in this heat race. Wilson's actually approaching to lap traffic in Dino. Dino's got that right front bend, so keep an eye on that very closely. Come to the white flag. 1 lap to go here, Zach. Closest race for 3rd, Spees and Templeton.
Yeah, and I don't know if we're going to get much of a race there. I think they're both going to play it smart. They know they've got to lick their wounds and just make their way into this future here.
Meanwhile, off at turn 4, come to the checkered flag. The Macho Man wins heat race number 2. Flairel 2nd, Spees 3rd, Templeton 4th, Kemper 5th, Reynolds 6th, Barker 7th, and Hine 8th. One more heat race left to go, and it's heat race number 3, brought to you by Top Notch Trucking. Here's a look at your starting lineup. The Salesman is on the pole. Championship contender Blake Chapman next to the Ripper, Lance Ripka, in the 125. Row number 2, John Short in the 51 next to Barry Goldner in the 36. Row number 3, the Goose, Chad Cote in the 11, and Gentleman Jack Hit in the 217. Rounding out the field, car number 30 of Stephen Goldner. Now that could make things interesting here tonight because we know Stephen Goldner is always fast. He's always a threat to watch out for here, Brandon. However, though, Vanderbilt does not have any wins on the season.
They don't have any?
I don't believe they do.
Oh, wow.
Does Corinta?
Oh, Corinna may have a win. You're right. I always forget about Ross.
Yeah.
Ross does not have a win.
So, yes, no wins by... Oh, there is one win from Kyle Moonen on the season. So, but Moonen is not with us this evening. So.
In spirit, he is.
Alrighty, Dean, this is going to be interesting here with Blake Chapman on the pole position.
It's not going to be interesting. If he doesn't screw up, this is his deal. No pressure. Right, Dittmer?
Watch out for Lance Ripka. When he finds something, he's pretty fast up there.
Lance has been doing some laps, and you know, once he gets that rust off, Lance Ripka knows how to rip. Did you see what I did right there?
That's why we call him the Ripper.
Yes.
And, you know, Patrick's going to be real happy that his teammate Tyler won that last heat race because then he'll start second in front of Blake no matter what. And that, you know, he's going to make it hard for Blake to get by him tonight.
Absolutely. You got to do what you got to do, right, Zach?
Amen.
KSR looking for a drive to become a champion. The guy behind Chapman, John Short, nearly got it a couple of seasons ago as we are green for Heat 3. Chapman gets a nice jump, tries to run away from Ripka and Shortfield, makes their way down the back chute. Barry Goldner just about taps the wall. Stephen Goldner moves to 5th, but Barry sends it in once again. 3 wide in the back of the pack. Lap number 1, though, led by Blake Chapman. The Ripper's got to run here, Dean, for the 2 spot.
Yeah, Lance. Like I said, Lance is getting strong. He's getting some laps. I mean, he was on my tail at the end of the Rebels there, and you know, Lance is a renegade guy. He's just been back in Rebels because he hasn't raced. That's all.
Chad Cote, though, he may have a run here, Brandon, for that 3rd position.
Chad Cote is strong when he comes around. And he can make some strong charges, but unfortunately they don't always add up.
Goldner trying to make that bottom work.
Absolutely. Stephen Goldner rolling the shorter way around the racetrack. Can't get the drive there off the center of 3 and 4. Here comes Cote on short for the 3rd position. Meanwhile, Zach, Blake Chapman, 15.78 quickest lap of anybody in this heat. Halfway home, 0.6 of a second lead on Ripka.
You know, I was just talking to myself here. I think he's in a 410. Somebody's got to check that thing out because night in and night out, I mean, if he gets clean air, he's gone.
Get that for butter on the popcorn.
Full engine teardown request post-race. So, anyway, 2 laps to go in heat race number 3. Short and Cote still race for the 3rd spot, and both Cote and Goldner want to make that bottom work on board with the driver of the number 30.
You know, I just studied the field. I guess you can call this the super heat. I mean, there's feature winners in every position.
There is, definitely. Meanwhile, Ripka's closed in on Blake a little bit. 3 seconds of a second the gap, and off at turn number 4, Blake Chapman, the checkered flag, wins the heat race. Ripka 2nd. Short takes Cote for 3rd by 0.08 of a second, hit 5th. And the Goldners 6th and 7th. Something happened with Steven. I think
Yeah,
Dean
he ran out of fuel. He ran out of fuel.
He ran out
I'll
of
say
fuel.
hi to you, Steven, if you put enough fuel in it. He was picking on me because I didn't say hi to him.
Alrighty. Well, heat racing is, I believe, in the books. Should be warm-up time here. And
Yes, it is. Yep.
When we come back, we're going to crown a Renegades champion. Stay with us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
How about the reverse for Lucy Olsen? She has her first point.
Yeah, Lucy Olsen, talented sophomore.
Warm-up's just about finished here. And Tyler Wilson, the quickest with a 16:172. Training Wheels Racing 1-2, KSR 3 and 4. This is going to be a fun feature coming up. 35 laps around the sprint car capital of the world, the Knoxville Raceway. Who's it going to be? How's it going to be done? And who's going to be the champion? We're about to find out. Let's meet the field in the catalytic recovery starting lineup. On the pole position, it's the driver of the 91, Kyle Sargent, next to the 42, and the Macho Man, Tyler Wilson. Row number 2, the salesman, Blake Chapman, your championship contender in the 20. Bob Vigo next to him in car number 4. Row number 3, the 200 of Jeff Flaro next to the 125. That is the Ripper, Lance Ripka. Row 4, the high side banger, Patrick Spangler in the 39. Next to the detective, Steven Spees in the 55. Row number 4, it is John Short. Short is in car number 51. He's next to the 31 of Brandon Templeton. Row 6, it's he's next to the 07 of the Outlaw, Preston Cranmer. Row 6, Brandon Templeton in the 31, and Chad Cote, the Goose, in the 11. Row number 7, it's the Bassman, Roger Craig in the 747, next to Jeff Kemper in the 181. Row number 8, Gentleman Jack Hitt in the 217. He's next to Jesse Atkinson, the Pink Panther, in the 127. Row 9, it's Dean Reynolds. He's in the 79, next to Barry Golner in the 36. And in row number 10, it's Gary Taylor, the captain, the 34. He's next to the Brewer to beat Jeff Barker in the 513. Rounding out the field this evening, Stephen Goldner in the 30, the Desert Demon, Terry Landis in the 161, and the Professor, John Hine, in the 71. Dino, wishing you the best of luck here tonight. I wish we could do predictions with you, but you're racing, so we wish you the best. Alrighty, Brandon, who's your pick to win tonight for the championship?
To win the championship, I think Patrick's going to get it done.
And to win the race?
I think Tyler Wilson will pull this one out.
Alrighty, Zach?
Can't pick against the salesman. You just can't. Not in these moments. I mean, he wins all the clutch races we have. Can't. You got to put your money on that kid.
For the race and the championship?
Yes, sir.
Damn it, you stole it right from me.
Now you know how I felt during Nationals.
Absolutely. Wilson for the win, Chapman for the championship. We're about to find out what happens. 35 laps of the sprint car capital of the world. Ready for the Lucy Olsen start. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Championship night here in Knoxville. Spangler versus Blake Chapman to get it done. It is showtime here in Knoxville. Lucy Olsen start as the drivers make their way down the back chute. It's Tyler Wilson with the lead. Kyle Sargent wants the top spot. Blake Chapman third. Bob DeGood fourth. 3 wide for the 5th position with, I believe, Lance Ripka up on top. But it's Wilson that leads lap number 1 here. Chapman wants that 2nd spot, but Sargent hanging on the high side at the moment here, Brandon.
Yeah, and he is really putting it up against that cushion, right, where he needs to be for that fast line. Fireworks are still going off, and we're 3 laps in. This is concerning, but... oh, Preston Kramer and Bob DeGood almost got together.
They were both sideways off for turn 2. They just about touch once again. Preston's let it off. Has to be safe than sorry here in this 35-lap feature. 3 wide with Kramer in the middle, and Steven Spees up on the outside. Spangler's a part of that 3 wide situation as well. The high side Banger back in 8th, and is starting to lose some ground early. John Hine, though, has crashed. We go yellow. Gary Taylor also involved in car 34. Fireworks are still going off here.
Somebody check on the pyromaniac guy.
I do not like this glitch. Somebody's got to turn this off.
There was a lot of extra contact after the caution trying to get people woed down, so hopefully I didn't give a lot of people 2 X's.
Luckily, nobody flipped in that accident. Let's go on board from the back end of Gary Taylor. Just completely got the tail tank. It was like a bullseye.
I think because it's championship night, they decided to run through all the fireworks. I guess they'll just buy new ones for next season.
Should mention as well here, the drivers in the running for the championship, their worst finish of the season here. Blake Chapman is in every race this season, so he's already dropped a 14th place finish. He's looking to drop a second 14th place finish on the season. Patrick Spangler, he has already dropped 1 race that he has missed, so he is looking to drop a 17th place finish at I-55. Count all of those facts out. Both drivers in the championship have top 10 finishes on the year. Think about that, guys.
I'd kill for 1 top 10 in this series, Marty.
Me too. All right, lights are off. We go to our first double file restart of the evening. Tyler Wilson and Kyle Sargent make up the front row after our first gambler yellow. Blake Chapman, Lance Ripka, row number 2. Jeff Flero and Bob DeGood, row number 3. Preston Cranmer, Patrick Spangler, row 4. Steven Spees, Chad Cote round out the top 10. Right now, if this championship were to end, Blake Chapman would end on top. But it's a long race. We're working lap number 4, coming to lap 5. High side caught sleeping on that restart. That helps out Chapman. He takes the 2nd spot from Kyle Sargent. So if yellow were to fly right now, Chapman would have control of the 2 spot. But Sargent fights back on the outside. He has that 2nd position at the moment. But further back behind them, Jeff Flero, Preston Cranmer, Bob DeGood. Spangler's in the middle of a 3-wide situation. He plays it safe and sorry in the 9th spot now. Here comes, oh my goodness, it's 4 wide with Spangler a part of it. That was tight, Brandon.
Patrick's right in the middle of the Hornets, and that's one wrong move in front of him, and that could end any chance he has of the championship. He has got to be careful.
He has to back out of it because of it. So he may be conserving early, but is he conserving too much, especially in this back? Really loose, he nearly taps the wall, but around Jack Cote for 9. This is intense, Zach.
Yeah, Patrick, I don't think he would know what the word conserve means right now. He knows he's got to go right now, and I mean, definitely a little frustrated. You can tell he's fast, and he's getting held up a little bit, but he's got to find a way, and he's got to find it quick.
He's got to be careful at the same time, too, because remember, a 2X can bite you in the dust. Because, Zach, you talked about this off break. We actually forgot to count the 2X that Kemper had, and Kemper would have actually been the Rebels champion if he didn't have that 2X.
Yeah, you know, he ended up with 4. He got 2 after he was frustrated. He got the first one, so he would have won by 3 points. You know, if you get incidents and the guy you're racing doesn't, that's a 7-point swing right there. So you got to keep your head cool.
Spangler looking to go 2 for 1 on both Cote and Spies. The race for the 7th position. And the detective still hanging on, race for 2nd. Sargent and Blake Chapman off at turn number 2. And the leaders are in lap traffic with Jack Hitt, who was actually holding off and into the pits. But still 3 wide for that 6th spot. A fun race here, Brandon.
Yeah, oh, there's contact in the back. Stephen Goldner and Brandon Templeton. Oh, wreck.
This is going to get interesting. Oh, Landis caught up in the aftermath trying to avoid. He was committed to a lane. Second caution of the race comes out.
I think that went the whole way back to the back stretch, the lap before.
Stephen Goldner was making his way up throughout the field. He made his way up from the back to 10th, and Templeton and Goldner simply hooked. And Barker just catches the tire there, and man, Landis out came flying in there too. It's from another angle here. Watch Landis right there. On board Terry. He was committed to the outside. Just committed way too late there, Brandon.
You know, it's one of those things where, like, you're sitting there and you see something happening in front of you. You can't exactly tell where it is on the track until you get up a little bit closer, and by that time, it's just too late.
So now we get ready for this restart. Blake Chapman's 3rd, Patrick Spangler 8th. I don't believe anybody has 2X at the moment, Zach. Is this the time here where both of the drivers now hit the trigger on this restart?
Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. The guys battling here for the points, they're all sitting at 0X right now. So, I mean, I don't think I'm anxious to see if Blake is content with running the bottom here. I think he thinks there's going to be another caution left, and he's still trying to save that right rear. But if Blake goes to the top here as quick as he can, I think he thinks it's time to go.
2nd of 3 double file restarts here this evening at Knoxville. It's Kyle Sargent, or excuse me, correction, Tyler Wilson as control car for this restart. He selected the outside, and Sargent's caught sleeping. And I like the move for Wilson to take the outside line for this restart to hold up Blake Chapman, but Chapman wants the 2 spot. He can't get it. Sargent hangs on, but look at Spangler making moves. He wants Flero for 6th.
Yeah, Patrick was a big beneficiary of that caution. It settled everything down in front of him, and he gained 2 spots there when they wrecked. So he was a big beneficiary there.
But now Chapman may have company for 3rd. However, though, he sends it in on the low side off in turn 4. Sargent still hanging on. And that race there we talked about for 6th. Spangler takes it away from Flero at the stripe, Brandon. That could be huge.
Yeah, Patrick is just running that high side, but look in front of him. He's got everybody on the high side. There he finally goes to the bottom.
Tries
But
to
look-
send it on Cote late, and he takes away the pit spot. And that could help big time, because I think Spangler would have the lead of the championship right now at the moment.
Luke, who is in 7th.
Dino, your biggest
Dino,
mover of
Dino.
10 spots. What a run he's having in the number 79. And he doesn't make a lot of Renegade starts off it.
Slide job for Patrick.
Woo! That got tight there. I don't know if him and Ripka touched. If so, that could have been 2x.
I don't think they did.
Check on that for me, Zach.
It's all clear, no contact.
All righty, here goes Chapman for second. Slides it up on Kyle Sargent. Sargent takes away the second spot. Right now, Spangler would be the champion if this race were to end at the moment. Chapman has the second spot taken away.
Patrick is loving what he's seeing in front of him right now.
Absolutely, as Tyler Wilson continues to lead this one. Here's a fun fact. Blake Chapman, Patrick Spangler, and Tyler Wilson each have 2 wins on the season. It would be incredible if Tyler Wilson, who scored his first Renegades win actually this season, were to take home his third, would have the most at the end of the year here, Zach.
Yeah, I mean, he's been a guy, you know, he's just, if he wouldn't have got caught in trouble the other week at Williams Grove, you know, we might be talking about him possibly running for the points lead here. You know, he just had bad luck. But he knows what he's doing out here. He proves it week in and week out.
So Chapman takes
Austin.
the second spot here, and Templeton and Barker have crashed. I was just about to say that Blake Chapman, with that second spot move on Kyle Sargent, Blake Chapman has the points lead unofficially at the moment. Here's a look at what happened. Brandon Templeton and Jeff Barker. Kemper, ooh, whoa, that was so strange. Ooh, and Barker takes a shot. Brandon, do you know what happened? I want to ride on board here with Templeton.
It looks like his wheel almost malfunctioned and just slammed left. I've never seen somebody turn their wheel that hard left before.
Yeah, I think something happened with the wheel there. Like the controller just died on him.
So, the play here is Tyler Wilson. He's going to go high on this restart.
Yep.
He's going to count it down for Patrick here because Patrick's going to be in 4th place.
Absolutely. I remember there's no choose cone rule anymore in the Renegades at long tracks like Knoxville.
Yeah, no, only for the leader. And yep, there he goes. He just chose the high side. So, it's going to get interesting here, boys.
Absolutely. Remember, even if Spangler finishes ahead of Blake Chapman, it's over. Spangler takes the win. And even if Spangler finishes second or better, from what we have calculated, the high side banger would become a 5-time Renegades champion. Blake Chapman, meanwhile, won the 2021 Spring Renegades Championship as well as the Fall Championship, but has not won it since. And your championship contenders share row number 2 with 14 laps to go. There it is. You called it, Zach.
Yep, I mean, that's the iRace, that's the Discord advantage there. So now Blake's got to put his head down and he's got to go for it.
And Blake wants that championship badly. Pulls up to Spangler. Does he make the move underneath? Yes, he does. The race for second is on, Brandon. There's the slider by the salesman.
Blake absolutely takes advantage, but there's one thing I noticed on that restart as Blake tried to time that restart. Kyle Sargent didn't go. He had to get on the brakes hard. I wonder if he made contact as Patrick goes again at him.
That was a send there from the high side banger. That allows Chapman to hang on to the second position. That could have been 2x there, Zach, with how heavy Spangler sent it in.
Yeah, you know, Patrick's really hanging it all out there, and, you know, it's going to be interesting to look at this race here. I noticed, I'm not sure why, but the 39 got a black flag on that restart, and it was cleared, so that'll have to be looked at before we decide this championship, I'd imagine.
Whoa, that could be reviewable by race control, and it could go into the waning days of things. Meanwhile, Spangler tried another slider. That doesn't work. Your top 3 in the standings all battling for the win with 10 laps to go, Brandon. Chapman wants the lead from Wilson. Here we go. This could get interesting.
Oof. A big swing at that, and I know exactly what that black flag was for, since Sargent was technically supposed to start second. Patrick passed him on the outside before they got to the line, so that's where that black flag came from. That's a clean clear.
Spangler
Yeah,
fights
because
a
of
bit.
the line change. You're right.
Spangler tries the slider, doesn't work. New race leader Blake Chapman. Now he's got the points lead. Does Wilson let Spangler go? Yes, he does. There's the slider for second. Spangler's got the lead. Oh, he tapped the wall though. Is that 2X though?
Show me 0X.
Wilson wants that second spot, but Patrick's thinking, let off, man, let off. I've got this championship right now.
I think Wilson's letting him go.
Oh, baby, that is not what Blake Chapman wanted to see. Spangler take away the second position. 6.
Come on, Dino.
Dino's in 4th? What?
Come on.
Where in the world did he come from? We have not talked about Dean Reynolds yet in this race. The Rebels regular is in 4th spot. Your current hard charger. 5 laps to go, though. And Spangler wants the lead from Chapman. Blake just playing defensive every way he can. He's just hoping that Spangler catches the wall for 2X.
Patrick's getting so close to that one. I think he's tapping it every now and then on those slider lines. He needs to cool it.
We're going to ride on board here with Spangler into turn 3 from the rear end. Wow, he is just playing with fire here at the moment. 3 laps.
He really is.
3 laps to go in the Renegade season. A caution could change everything. And Spangler wants that lead. Underneath he goes, tries to send it. 2 laps to go. The top 2 in the championship are going for the win here. Right now.
Wreck on the front stretch.
Oh, Cranmer and Barker wreck. And we go to caution. And this takes us to overtime.
Can't write this.
My.
Oh, Goldner and Cranmer got together and Barker got collected.
Here's a look. Right there, they slightly touched, they hooked, and Barker breaks them up. Get your popcorn ready, folks. Could be in for a treat here for these final 2 laps and the Renegade season. Who would have thought with the new tire degradation is headed to overtime and the top 2 in the championship, top 3 in the championship are going at it for win number 3 in the year. But you got to remember Patrick Spangler, 2nd or better, and he wins this championship. Again, we will, because of how close things are at the moment, we will wait on everything to make it official. Once the standings come up, Patrick will put those together, and we will tell you your official champion.
Do you think Blake is offering John Short a free lifetime supply of Galen's if he gets by Patrick?
If he sends it in, yeah, probably. So, both drivers do have friends.
I mean, the
Patrick
top
hits
4
Tyler.
teammates. You couldn't ask for a better
Yes.
finish here.
And Blake has John, and it's a single file restart. In this 2-lap shootout now, Blake has that freebie. But Patrick Spangler has yet to lead this one, and he has a car dialed in late in the going. Steve King Foundation pace truck into pit road, first of 2 attempts at a green-white checker to determine the Renegades champion. Blake Chapman or Patrick Spangler, let's go. Great jump for the 20. Spangler tries to look low. Chapman wheeling it off in turn number 2. I think Patrick's sending it with a slide job here to turn number 3 and 4. That's what he's trying to do. Can't get it to work. Blake Chapman leads off for 4. We're on the final lap of the season. No mistakes from Patrick Spangler, even without the win. He taps the wall off for 2 again. That's tight. Spangler sends it. Blake shuts the door through 3 and 4. Patrick nearly taps the wall. Blake Chapman takes the win, and we believe the championship goes to the 39 of Spangler. So as long as everyone as both the drivers had 0x, it is a difference of 3 points, which would mean Patrick Spangler, I believe, would win this championship by 2.
Wow.
Dean lost hard charger to Jesse Atkinson.
Heartbreak for Dino, but a 6th place finish. I believe Dean's best Renegades finish ever.
And the photo bomb.
Yep. We'll wait for everything to be official. Nothing's updated yet. Obviously, Patrick's going to work on everything. And it is official. 2 points. Patrick Spangler is a 5-time Renegades champion. What a fight those two put on all season long. And Spangler ends up with the title by 2 points.
They used all the fireworks while we were running the first 5 laps.
Wow, I had the best seat in the house watching those two throw bombs at each other. I don't know what I was doing up there, but I was watching.
So the high side banger stays as the Renegades king, but you got to give it up for Blake Chapman. Leads the league in wins for Renegades, and he nearly was able to dethrone Patrick Spangler.
Does this mean we don't get popcorn now?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm worried about this.
We'll have to see. We'll check with Patrick. We'll check with Blake afterwards.
Yeah, okay.
As you look at the full field rundown here
Got
on
mine.
the screen. By the way, Dean, how about that run, man? What a run from you!
Yeah, and I made a mistake in the last restart. I noticed everyone moved their wings back to about a 3 or 4, and I guess that's what I had to do with the tires. But no, like I said, I got to thank Patrick. He gave me some pointers, and it just dialed my car in here in Knoxville. I don't know if it works anywhere else, but man, I had a ball. I felt like I was actually competitive.
All right, we'll get to the
fun.
interviews here now, and we will begin with our 3rd place finisher. And John Short was able to pass Tyler Wilson late in the going for 3rd. John, how much fun did you have in that race?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I got to thank Blake. He had this thing on point again. The Knoxville setup he's been running it's really paid off. We rolled the bottom for the first half of the race, and that last 15 laps was really fun. Just could pound the top and really make up ground. So I got lucky with some restarts running the top and was able to pick up some positions there and just took advantage.
Overall, what do you take away here from this race and the season as a whole?
Season as a whole was a little rough. I was dealing with some technical issues early on, so last couple races was really just trying to manage my IL and get back under the threshold to stay in the league. So that's what we did tonight. Had a nice solid run to be able to stay clean and actually have some speed too. So that was a nice part of it as well. So hopefully next season will be better and just have a little more luck, especially with the technology stuff.
Brady's taking it easy to keep his IL down. He blew my shorts right off. Makes me feel good.
Hey, I watched you guys burning it down up top there for the first 15 laps. I saw everybody blow by me, and I fell back to like 15th, and I was like, you know what? This will be fun once 20, 25 laps get in this thing. I've been just down here putzing around, cruising, and it was nice to be able to go up there. I think the only reason I got to you, Dino, is because you creamed the wall in 3 and 4.
Well, Dittmer gave me his map, and I had to find a wall at least a couple times.
No.
Well, John, before we let you
Good
go,
run.
who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Oh, man, I'm a little rusty at this.
Well, you know what to
I've been
do
up here
here.
in a while.
Well, there's one
Well, I
thing
know.
you know you got to say.
Well, I know that you gotta save that for best for last. I don't want to spoil Blake's thunder though. You know,
That's true.
That's his gig.
That
But
is true.
I will put a plug in for Galen's homegrown popcorn.
Absolutely.
Get Dino salivating before he gets to talk to Blake here. But best popcorn around. Definitely go and get yourself a bag. Really good stuff. Also got to thank the KSR guys. A lot of fun racing with them. Thank Blake and for putting together the setup tonight. That was same one from a couple weeks ago, and still fast as always. So that was fun to run, and yeah, just thank them. Thank the league for putting it on. Thank you guys for doing the broadcast, and thanks to all the fans out there watching.
Alrighty. Well done tonight, man. Great job, and have a good week 13. We'll talk to you in the fall.
Sounds good. See you, fellas.
Good run, John.
John Short finishes third. We'll wait to talk with Patrick Spangler. Let's talk with your winner in Blake Chapman. Leads the series with 3 wins on the season. Blake, I know you won the championship. It's got to be tough falling short by 2 points, but another win for you at Knoxville, and you had to fight for it at the end.
Yeah, I'm really not too disappointed. Patrick, congrats to Patrick. He ran a really good season. He's always so tough to beat because he's so consistent and keeps his incidents down. And you know, it comes down to incident points and hard chargers at the end of the day, like he was telling me in the waiting room. But yeah, I had a lot of fun tonight. I think I might have raced a little too hard, a little too fast. With Patrick and Tyler in front of me, I was getting everything I could out of the car, and then those last laps, it was like racing on ice. I had nothing left in those tires, but I'm glad I did it so I could get up front. But yeah, just super happy to have momentum going into next season. It feels like I've been really comfortable in whatever car I've hopped in since the new update, and hopefully that transitions over well the next season.
How do you look at this season, though, as a whole? You know, you go out there, you win Charlotte. You're probably the first to figure out the new tire system here. And then you go out, put more wins than I believe we've seen from you in the past in Renegades competition. How do you look now moving it forward to next season? I feel like you kind of answered that, but let's talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm really happy with how the season went. I feel like I got a lot of really good setups going into next season. And like you said, I don't think I've won this many Renegades races before in a season. And even the Hometown Hero stuff, I got a lot of wins in. So I've just been really comfortable in these sprint cars. Yeah, I got to tweak a couple of setups for next season. But like this Knoxville setup, man, it's good. It's just good. And hopefully it'll transition. All of it will transition over to next season, like I was talking about.
Well, who do you want to give shout-outs to on this one? And John saved your thunder for last.
Nope. Here we go.
I
love the suspense, Dean.
Everyone, quiet.
Yeah, I just gotta thank everybody for all the support this season. My parents, grandparents are watching and supporting all the guys out of the Kreitzen racing team. Really happy to see John with the podium tonight. I know he's complaining about my setup that I built in the warm-up, but turned out pretty well for him, looks like. So I got to thank those guys and the Can-Am racing team as well. And, just everybody down at Sweet Peace Park and Palace, Racing Rick for helping her out, Grumpy, the whole crew. And of course, I got to give a shout-out to my guys, Galen's Gourmet Popcorn. You can head over there and use the code CART, that's C-A-R-T, at checkout for 15% off.
15%.
Yep. And I'll have to be checking with Patrick. You guys need to talk to him. He needs to celebrate with some Galens. He needs to do it.
I think it should go up to 20% since you run the 20 and you're having such a good year.
I think so, Dean.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think so
Absolutely. We need to talk
I would
about
love
it.
that.
Yeah, absolutely, Detmer. You're right. Let's work on this. Letter tomorrow. We'll draft it up. We'll send it over to Blake for proofreading, and then we'll send it.
Perfect.
At least the Booth Boys discount code.
Yeah, well, I know.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Stop teasing us, Ditmer.
How about the Galen's Homegrown Popcorn broadcast booth?
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I tell you, in all seriousness, and now that Marty, I tell you, it is the best. I mean, yes, we plug it and we make a little bit of fun here, but that is some good stuff.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and I got to thank all you guys for doing this all season. You're really entertaining to watch. We're super entertaining to watch, and you guys do a really great job.
We're probably entertaining in person too, aren't we?
Very.
Yes. So
we're not talking about salsa either, Isaac.
Eat Taco Joe now. Yes, he's still missing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Happy Gilmore is still golfing.
He's supplying the country with crude oil. Leave him alone.
Well, Blake, we'll let you go. Congratulations
Blake.
on the win and a great season for you. Nothing.
Get
to
free
be disappointed
championships on
about.
Wednesday, will you?
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Yes,
Good job,
absolutely. Blake Chapman, your Renegades winner. But now we go to the champ. That, of course, is Patrick Spangler in the number 39, a 5-time champion in the Renegades, and I believe 3 in a row here. Patrick, how does this feel?
Feels good now. Didn't feel good about, I don't know, maybe a half hour ago.
Yeah, that start when you were held up in the pack, you were probably a little bit nervous.
Well, I was wondering if you were saving tires because I knew where I started. I knew how many cars I passed, and then there's the 39 in front of me. I go, this can't be planned.
No, let's start off with the heat race there with old Blake Chapman's teammate Terry Landis in front of me there, a little Sergio Perez action. So I had to start 7th, got boxed on the bottom, and then it got real hairy there on lap 1. Preston made it 3 wide above me. I was like, there's an incident point probably coming here. Somehow we stayed clean and green there, and just got stuck on the bottom, couldn't get to the top. And I think Koch came out as a 9th again. So Tyler's like, where are you at? I was like, I went backwards. He's like, oh, man. So then I just kept hitting the bottom, trying to get past that group of cars. There's that 4 through 7 that I just couldn't. There's a wall. Everybody's running everywhere. It was great that the lines were all there, but it was just tough to get past them.
Now, you have been one in these past few seasons that's always had a fight down in the final race. Brennan Lacey has put up big fights on you. He took one from you at the end of the season. I think it was a year ago. But you had a new opponent this time in Blake Chapman going to the Knoxville. Going into the night, though, what were you thinking?
I knew I wasn't going to be starting off good there with the EOL there from last week. So if I get through the heat race and get top 2, maybe 3, I maybe had a shot at. But I saw Blake do the number 1 again, so I knew it was going to be a tough challenge. And then
you got to start buying those Galens, man.
I know he's giving the old pill lady the Galens there, but yeah, it's crazy in the league. Like 1 incident point cost you 3 spots basically with a 7-point difference there. So that's what it always comes down to. That's why I think I had the upper edge on Lacey. He would always beat me in the races, but I'm less aggressive than he is, so I'd have less incidents. But Blake, I think, had less incident points than me, and I think this is the first time I've seen a guy with more incident points win a championship. So just a crazy season so far.
So you have Tyler Wilson leading this race and helping you out when you were restarting for selecting the outside line so he can affect Blake Chapman. You were able to get ahead of Blake Chapman. Was that when you felt like you started to get momentum and start to have that feeling that you probably could have had a chance, you probably would have had the title?
Yeah, for about the 3/4 lap that worked out, and then Blake slid me and passed me again. I was like, oh man, I gotta try and catch him again, and I was never able to catch him again. I could get to his tail tank, but that was about it tonight. Track's way different than last season at Knoxville. Like you could tell it was slick out there, but it looks the same. They say look at the different shades of brown. What all looks the same color brown out there, and there's not a big cushion, so it's very tough to manage where you're running. And I think the tire wear, they run off the asphalt model, so it goes by like RPMs. So it's just very weird things to try and get your head around.
I was going to say, do you miss the moguls up top?
Yes, I do, because I think that's where I had the advantage, was because I just got used to those moguls up there. But now you have a paper-thin mogul and a wall right on the other side of it, so it's a lot easier to get the wall, I think, now.
Yeah, I should add, you made us nervous, too, how many times it came close to the wall. I thought one touch of it, that was going to be 2x in your championship in the dust.
Yeah, earlier in the race, I forget, me and somebody else came together right before one of the cautions, hit tires, and it threw up a 0x up there, so I thought that was close, and I banged the wall coming out of 2 once, and that threw up another 0x. I got lucky. And then that last one, I really bombed it in there into 4 to try and eat into somewhat cushion to get a run down the straightaway, and I thought I was going to back her right into the wall there. But yeah, I think I was at like 1.99 right before I got the 2x if they calculate in the background.
How are you going to celebrate this one?
gonna celebrate by going to work tomorrow, my birthday. So it's nice to get another one, and hopefully I can close out the small blocks over Dino on Thursday.
I was gonna say, don't show up Thursday.
Yeah.
I got a box of Galens if you don't show up Thursday.
Happy early birthday, Patrick.
Thank you. But yeah, I think that'll be my first small block or modified championship. So hopefully I can hold off Dino and bring that one home.
I need you 20th and with a 10x, and I got to win with a 0x.
Hey, that can happen as a small block sometimes.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to, Patrick?
Just you guys and the what do we call you guys? Scooby-Doo or the Mystery Machine gang up there. And, Chapman, Dean. Yeah, Chapman, Dean, Brandon, Marty, and Buddy.
Missing Isaac.
Isaac. Where's he at this weekend?
I tell you. Yeah, he's yeah.
And then Roger for running the league is one of the best running leagues on iRacing. Kevin Fry for coming out and adminning each week. Galen's Popcorn.
Galen. See?
Yeah,
everyone's thinking Galens.
Dad and Uncle back home watching. Wife for letting me race every week on Monday nights. And Triangle's racing everything. Tyler, Brandon, and birthday's done this season. Really making strides on the setups and improving our speed here. And hopefully can carry the momentum into next season.
Well, enjoy this one. Congratulations. And have a great off week next week or week 13 next week. Hopefully we see you in the charity race. And best of luck next season.
Thanks. And are you racing in week 13?
I believe I'll be broadcasting one of the weeks in week 13. And I would like to drive in the rest of them. We'll see. Schedule dependent. It's starting to get busy here in September. So. Gotcha.
Alrighty. Thanks for everything you guys do.
Absolutely.
Hopefully I'll meet you guys some next season. Thanks.
Absolutely. Patrick Spangler, your champion in Renegades competition. Well deserved. Well, I know some of you guys are going to be signing off here, so as we get ready for GT3s at Long Beach. So let's do it while we're at it. Dean, is it time?
No, he's got a new spot. I did laundry before I did laundry before I left for Glen Ridge in Lebanon Valley this weekend, and I put the laundry in a basket, and the basket's by the door. And guess where he's sleeping in it? And guess who's got to wash all his clothes again because there's now cat hair all over it. And he won't leave the damn thing. He leaves it to crap and eat. That's all he does. Rough life. He's got a rough life, I tell you. So you got to throw up that Mach 1 and that sound and all that stuff. And
the Mach 1 just went up.
Yep, there you go. The cutest session, and it's all disappointing.
Yeah. So, but anyway, before we go to GT3s, and Zach and I will be on the call for that one. Dino, final thoughts.
Well, a great way to bring down the season with Rebels and Renegades. Those points championships right down to really the incident point or maybe a hard charger or simply one position on the racetrack. I mean, you can't ask for anything better than that. That is really cool. And it looks like it all came down the way it should with good, clean racing. People respected the guys going for the championship. And I tell you, like I said, though, the Renegades is the ultimate. I mean, that's the championship you want. And I did have the best seat in the house to watch Blake and Patrick throw bombs at each other. That was a highlight. That was really cool.
Brandon,
what a fun year.
Brandon, you're welcome to join Zach and I in the booth for GT3s if you want. But final thoughts.
Just great racing all season long, especially with that curveball at the beginning of the season with the tire model and new build. They really somehow managed to pull that all together and figure out how these cars run and make it one heck of a show. Great points battle there at the end. Can't ask for more. But
well, let's step aside and go to break. GT3s at Long Beach coming up next right here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
For Lucy Olson, she has her first point.
Yeah, Lucy Olson, talented sophomore.
All right, we are back here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Due to the car count we have for GT3s this evening, we have been told that the GT3 broadcast will not be happening. However, though, our champion is GJ Boydell, so we'd like to congratulate him on the championship this evening. Let me see here. I think we may have something else here. But as we wrap things up here, Zach, final thoughts on the night tonight with sprint cars.
Yeah, I mean, what racing? I mean, both races starting off with the B Series. Kemper kept it exciting and worked his way through the field trying to get that hard charger and get the points. But Cody Graham, man, he ran hard, ran smart, ran clean, and he just enough to get it done.
All right, I think we're back. Again, having some technical difficulties, and I think if as long as our stream doesn't go out, I'll just say this to end the night tonight. What a night we had here for sprint car action. Congratulations to our champions. It came down to the end of the wire, and that's how the way it should be. As you said, Zach, Kemper made it interesting and gave us a dogfight to the end. And then, Renegades race was very tight up to the end. What a night we had tonight. So that'll do it for us on behalf of everyone at the Coast to Coast Racing League and all the fine drivers and sponsors, Roger Craig, Preston Kramer, and the fine group of admins. Marius Callis sign off. Congratulations to your winners here this evening. I can't remember who your winners are, I'm sorry. But your champions this evening, Cody Graham and Patrick Spengler, so long.